Welcome to another Simsbury baseball night in Connecticut here as our Trojans take on the Tomahawks from Glastonbury. I am Mike Sinacore. I'll be doing the play-by-play this evening, and I'm once again with our color commentator, Craig Ahrens. Thank you, Craig, for joining me tonight.
Excited to be here, Mike.
So we've got a good one for you tonight. The Tomahawks come in 7-2, having just lost to Rocky Hill. Tough game there, 3-1. Interesting about this Tomahawk team, when you look at them on paper, they look very tough. They are currently ranked number 10 in the CIAC standings. But when you look at who they've played a couple of Class L teams, in fact, 4 of them, and a couple of Class M teams. They have had a huge win against Southington, who is currently ranked number 3 in the state. So a very formidable team and very tough opponent for our Trojans tonight. On the hill for the Trojans is Peter Phillips. He's making his second start of the season, coming off the IL. And again, we're expecting a really good game. Trojans come in 5-3, ranked number 19th in the state. They've got a 54 runs for, 30 against, which compares to Glastonbury's got 62 runs for and 13 against. So, again, Craig, I'm expecting a tough matchup for our Trojans tonight. It's another balmy 54 degrees in Simsbury. Beautiful baseball night, and I'm ready to go.
It should be an exciting game, and you're right. You know, that loss that they came to from Rocky Hill, and that's one of those Class M schools. And they're actually, their ranking, or their team record is 4-6. And that's who Glastonbury just lost to. But they have Glastonbury has 14 seniors on this team.
Wow.
And as you said, they can put up a lot of runs, 62 runs, and a pretty solid defense with giving up only 13. So the key for Simsbury is going to be to shut down that powerful offense and try and crack that very difficult defense.
Glastonbury and Simsbury, as we talked about, the towns pretty much mirror themselves, just on opposite sides of the river. So they've always been a tough opponent, no matter what the sport, for Simsbury, and we're expecting a good matchup. So we'll be back with game action in just about a few minutes. All right, almost ready here for game time. First pitch, that was a beautiful organ rendition by Joe Girard. Great job by Joe on the Twinkling the Ivories. Peter Phillips, as I see here, toes the rubber. It's going to take some practice. Up for Glastonbury, starting off in the first inning, will be Jake Hendricks, Chris Fisher, and Luke Stevens. So they've got their center fielder, catcher, and looks like their third baseman. As we said, Glastonbury comes into this game with a record of 7-2. A notable victory against Southington. Tough loss against Rocky Hill. Craig, I understand Simsbury's game against Rocky Hill was quite an interesting one, where I think they scored 7 runs in the top of the 7th to tie the game, and with 2 outs. And then, so that's a game that they're going to have to make up at the end of the season. So interesting there.
Yeah, I think they have that on the schedule now after the last Glastonbury game. I think it's already up on the CIAC website as a scheduled game.
So we'll keep an eye on Peter. As we said, Peter's coming off the DL. He had a bone in his wrist that was surgically repaired and was out for about 6 weeks. And Peter's a very strong player, very physically strong individual. He can bring the heat, and but as we know, at this level, unless you're locating fastballs, it could be troublesome. You got to off speed, mix it up, move it around, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, and Mike, I understand he's pitched once before. I mean, you and I ran into him at the end of the Hall game when he was getting his cast off the next day, and he was very excited to get back to it. So it'll be interesting and fun to watch how he does on a cold night.
Yeah, that's one thing we'll have to keep an eye on. It looks like for Simsbury here, we got Ryan Labasher at first base, Timmy White at second, Patrick Kerr at short, Dylan Leonard at third. Out in the outfield, we got Jack D'Onofrio in center field, Blake Chapman in left field, and Luke Beneke in right field. All very good, strong arms in the outfield for the Trojans. And we're just about ready to go.
Well,
Jake Hendricks looking to step into the box.
We're going to know how cold it gets. Coach Masters is playing with his gloves over there. We're going to see if he's going to be putting on the gloves. It's probably about 50 some odd degrees here at game time.
First for the Tomahawks,
That's it.
number 4, Jake Hendricks.
I wondered if he'd have the gloves on. I'll tell you, I came up here Saturday and it was cold and rainy, and the 9-year-old girls softball team was playing on the softball field, and yet our varsity team canceled their game. Peter's ready, gets a sign from Ryan, and here's the first pitch of the game. Called strike. No balls, 1 strike. There's a pitch. A big cut by Jake. He's unable to catch up to that one. So Peter starts ahead 0-2. They're pretty much playing this batter straight away. Nice pitch. Great job by Peter. So 3 pitches, 1 out. That's the way to do it.
Number 3, Chris Fisher.
As our man Dennis Eckersley at Calling a Red Sox game would say, he just got himself a pair of shoes.
He did. I'll tell you, the only thing better would be 3 pitches, 3 outs. Right?
That's exactly right. But that's a nice start for Peter.
Absolutely. Chris Fisher steps in now for the Tomahawks. He's a second baseman. Peter's yet to throw a ball as that one goes in for strike 1. Count is 0-1 on the number 2 batter. So the windup and the pitch by Peter. That must have been a little bit low. Nice ball there over the plate. So we got a 1-1 count. Craig, as we'd mentioned, it was 54 degrees at game time, overcast. There's a ground ball right up to Timmy White, second base. He gobbles it up, throws to Ryan. We got 2 outs. Nice play by Timmy. Nice routine play there. And quickly, the first 2 batters for Glastonbury are taken care of. And this brings up their number 3 hitter, Luke Stevens. Stevens is playing third base tonight for the Glastonbury. Peter pitches, and there's a ball low and inside. So again, the Trojans seem to be fairly deep in the outfield. Wind seems to be blowing in a little bit. And there's a little pop-up. That could be trouble lifting over to Luke Beneke. No trouble at all. He's got it for the 3rd out of the inning. So a great start to the game for the Trojans. A beautiful inning, very clean inning by Peter Phillips. And we go to the bottom of the first with Glastonbury, no runs, no hits, no errors. And the Trojans will be coming up. Jack D'Onofrio, Ryan Caulfield, and Blake Chapman.
Fargo.
I'm good, thank you.
How you guys pronouncing his name? Delaro? Delaro? Jack Delaro?
You really are Irish, aren't you?
I can get Piedemonte all day long. I can't get Delaro. All right. We're ready here for the bottom of the first inning. Again, leading off for Simsbury, number 27, playing center field, Jack D'Onofrio. For Glastonbury, they've got Mike Feeney at first base. They've got Jack Delaro on the hill, Chris Fisher behind the plate, Max Jajinka at shortstop, Sean Petamonte at second, Luke Stevens at third. In the outfield, we've got Jake Hendricks in center field, Colby Seymour in left, and Noah Diamond in right field. So again, the pitcher for Glastonbury, Jack, has a tall order to have as clean an inning as Peter Phillips just had for our Trojans.
Yeah, that was pretty efficient. 8 pitches.
8 pitches. 5 pitches over the minimum, Greg.
He'll have to get better.
There's one right down the middle, splitting the plate there for strike number 1 to Jack. Jack Delaro toes the rubber, throws again. There's a nice hit into the gap in left center. That's chased after by Jake Hendricks, and a great catch out there in right center field. Off the bat, that looked like it might be gap.
You know, and also on a warmer night, that ball's getting to the fence. That was a nice stroke. That was a good battle right there.
Yep. Catcher Ryan Caulfield steps in. Jack Delaro looks into his catcher Fisher. Caulfield swings through the first pitch for strike number 1. Glastonbury team seems to be playing Caulfield straight away. Wind again is blowing in. There's a foul ball off to our left for strike number 2. And Craig, I think you're right. I think on a warm night, the wind not blowing in, that ball may even have gotten out of here.
Yeah, that was a fastball, and he just stroked it.
Yeah.
And the center fielder did a great job on his horse.
He did track that pretty well.
He covered
Yeah.
a lot of real estate out there.
Here's the pitch to Ryan. 0-2 the count. And strike 3 looking there. So 2 outs. Both pitchers looking very good to start this game. There's left fielder Blake Chapman, number 12, coming up. So 5 pitches so far for Jack Delaro. He starts him off with an off-speed, looked to be a curveball for strike 1 on the outside corner. Blake looks in, staring down Jack. And there's a nice cut, but that's a high fly ball. That's the center fielder coming in for that, Jake Hendricks. And Hendricks had a busy inning as he makes the 3rd out. So no hits, no runs. Similar to Peter Phillips' outing in the top of the 1st. Jack comes in and Glastonbury on, I've got 5, 7, 8, 9 pitches for Jack unofficial, but fly out the center. And so we're through an inning here at Memorial Field in Simsbury, Connecticut, with the Trojans 0 and the Tomahawks 0. Coming up for Glastonbury in the 2nd inning is going to be their right fielder, Noah Diamond, their designated hitter, Ben Curcio, and their shortstop, Max Actually, 7 pitches.
I had 7. Yeah, I was going to correct. I had 7 pitches.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I was never good at math.
I'm counting them again. I'm like, they didn't throw that many pitches. Where'd you get those extra 2 from?
So clearly the story so far early this game of the 2 pitchers, as well as we're going to have to make them work, right? If you're offensive minded here, both coaches are probably asking them. Pitchers are pounding the zone, which is tough to do.
Yeah. And you can see, right? You can see how solid the Glastonbury defense was, right? That center fielder got on his horse and made a very good catch on Jack's hit, and then, hustled in and made a nice catch on that ball as well.
Yes. Center fielder's definitely at least early in the game, showing to be a pretty solid defensive player.
Yeah, he threw 7 pitches. He threw 7 strikes that inning.
Wow. There's a pitch from Peter, and a little bit inside. That's a tough one. So ball 1 there. Noah Diamond, their right fielder. Another pitch low and inside for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes on Noah. Number 8. Peter winds and throws. And there's a pitch, a beautiful pitch there for strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike on Noah. Ball 10 probably a little bit low. 3 balls and 1 strike now on Noah Diamond. One thing to note, Craig, is the Tomahawks showed up just about 30 minutes before game time. So, and there's a little bleeder into right field. Nice catch out there by Luke. Went a lot farther than I thought it was going to be.
Now batting number 23, Hunter Loomis.
But one right fielder to the other for out number 1.
I thought that was going to be a little doink shot right over the first baseman's head.
Yeah. So I made a mistake. This is not Ben Curcio. This is number 23, their DH. I'm going to have to make that change on my lineup card. A pitch by Peter, a little bit high and inside for ball 1. Peter looks in, grabs the sign from Ryan in the pitch. Right down the middle. So he's got his fastball working. At least control of the fastball looks to be really good tonight. Hunter Loomis. And there's a ground ball down to Dylan Leonard at third. Leonard scoops it up, throws over. Out number 2. Nice play by Dylan. 5-6 on the out. We got 2 outs.
Now batting number 2, Max Gingica.
Max Gingica now up, playing shortstop for the Tomahawks tonight.
So at 5-6 on the out, Mike, are you saying that the shortstop ran over there and covered first base?
Oh, right. Nice catch on that. 5-3 there. I'm as cold, I think, as everybody in here.
I think you got to close the window to kind of keep yourself warm there.
Yeah.
I think when they changed the lineup on you, that's what messed you up there.
I couldn't. That's right. Peter throws the first pitch. Has he thrown?
2 pitches. 1-1.
1-1 to Max Gingica. There's a nice cut by Max. Great pitch by Peter. 1-2. So other than the first batter, they're making contact on Peter, but no hits so far. There's a foul ball to our right. Count remains 1-2 to Max. Max a little bit of a slight ball player. See what range he has at short. There's a beautiful pitch, and Max knew it. Strike 3 called. And so we've got, again, no hits, no runs, no errors. After an inning and a half here at Memorial Field, Tomahawk 0 and our Trojans 0.
13 pitches, 21 total.
Another fairly efficient inning for Peter there. Coming up for Simsbury here in the bottom of the second inning, we'll have first baseman Ryan Lobsher, third baseman Dylan Leonard, and right fielder Luke Beneke. Luke made a fine play on that ball to right field in that last inning. Off the bat, it looked like it might be falling in.
Yeah, I thought it was. I looked up and all of a sudden there it was, and he was right there in great position to make a great catch.
Especially in a night, cold night, wind blowing in. It definitely tricked me.
Now batting number 20, Ryan Lobster.
Ryan Lobsher started really hot for the Trojans out of the gate. I think at one point, maybe 4 or 5 games in, he had around a 400 batting average. So hitting the ball in the nose. Decides to go sleeveless.
It's funny you
today.
say that, Mike. I'm watching. All the Glastonbury players have the undergarments on, and a lot of the Simsbury guys are, dressed in just the summer sleeves here.
Exactly right. There's a pitch that looked a little bit to be outside. Apparently not. Called a strike. And so count of 0-1 here to Ryan. Ball on the inside. 1-1. Ryan's a big boy. Got a little bit of he's big bend at the waist, wide stance. There's a pitch that's outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Jack DeLauro on the mound for the Tomahawks. Here's the pitch. Lobsher late on that one. Lobsher, and he peels it off, foul to the right. Chris Fisher catching for the Tomahawks. So we've got a count of 2-2 here, as we're in the bottom of the second inning with no score. Lobsher looking for one he can drive here to start this inning off. Here's the pitch. And a ball outside. So
I'm not sure.
I think he thought he was going to get rung up.
I think he was starting to go warm up in the dugout.
That was
Don't help the umpire.
no. I don't think I can say I've seen that much. Here's the pitch, and a ground ball to first base. Played over there nicely by Mike Feeney for Glastonbury. He runs to the bag, and we've got 1 out. So Craig, 3 unassisted on that one.
There you go, exactly. Yeah.
All right. Dylan Leonard now, Trojans third baseman, steps into the box.
Another one with just the short sleeves on.
Yeah.
Thinking it's 82 degrees here in Simsbury.
Ball up high. Those are very tough to get on top of. Cuts right through it. Strike number 1. 0-1. Here's the pitch. Dylan gets underneath that one, but it is out easy for the right fielder, Noah Diamond. Fly out to Noah for the second out of the inning. Brings up Luke Beneke, our Trojans right fielder. Another very good athlete on this Trojans team.
See if he jumps on the first pitch strike.
Oh, that's a pitcher's pitch right there. Lone inside on a tall batter.
He has started every batter off with a strike.
First pitch strike?
Yep.
Jack takes a sign to pitch. Outside. So unlike the game we did against Hull, this umpire doesn't have that wide strike zone on the outside part of the plate. Here's the pitch. Beneke takes a big cut. Doesn't get that one. 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Luke. As he steps in, looks. Jack gets his sign. Here's the pitch. And another nice cut, but unable to grab that one. So we've gone through 2 innings here. No score. No hits, no runs, no errors. The Trojans take the field, and at this rate, Craig will be done in about 45 minutes.
Yeah, 12 pitches, 19 total for the young man.
So 12 pitches on that one. So Peter Phillips and Jack Delara are tracking about the same,
They are.
right? They're really close. 21 pitch count for Peter, 19 for Jack.
Right, so Peter's thrown, what do we say, 21 pitches
Yep.
and a total of 11 strikes.
Wow.
And Jack has thrown a total of 19 pitches, a total of
He's got a bunch of strikes.
15 strikes.
Wow.
15 of his 19 pitches
Wow.
are strikes.
Well, it is a cool night. It's a tough night for our batters. This definitely is advantaged pitchers, but a real good start for both teams. We haven't had a base runner yet.
No. Good defense behind him, right? There's been solid plays, center field, third base, right fielders.
6 up, 6 down for both sides. Stepping into the box is their left fielder, Colby Seymour, lefty. And Peter stretching out there to stay warm.
Yeah, I haven't seen if he's putting on a jacket when he goes into the dugout.
Here's a windup and the pitch. And Colby trying to bunt his way on, or at least mix some things up, but take strike one as he went for that. Dylan in on the grass there at third. Here's the windup and the pitch by Peter. And that ball's in the dirt and looks like it caught the umpire. A little professional courtesy here, maybe to give him a little bit of a break. I think that caught him on the toe of his foot.
Good metal plate umpire shoes will make that pain go away pretty quick.
He would hope. A night like this, maybe not so much. Here's the pitch. There's a big cut by Colby, and he doesn't get it. 2 strikes, 1 ball, 2 strikes on the leadoff batter for the Tomahawks here in the top of the third. We have no score, 0-0. There's our first hit of the game. Colby just punches one into left field. He kind of served that out there to left field.
He did. He just kind of just reached out and just pushed it out there.
He did. Now batting is their first baseman, Mike Feeney, number 10, right-handed hitter. We'll have to keep an eye on Colby in first base. There's a lot of room should you throw past the first baseman over there.
Oh, and he's going on the first.
And there's
nice
a bunt. So they're going to go. Peter falls down, makes a nice play. And then Colby is caught up, and he's going to be out. So that's a crazy play there. Wow, that is a crazy play. So he heard the ball hit the bat and thought that it was up in the air. Somebody had said, get back to first. He started coming back, and Ryan Lobsher at first quickly identified it, threw to Patrick Kerr, and we've got 2 quick outs. Great play, by the way, by Peter Phillips coming in on that bunt. And now we've got Shaw Petamonte, their second baseman. So the Glastonbury coach trying to get something going. Can't blame him for that, as it's been 6 up, 6 down up to this point. There's a ground ball right off of Peter. Peter identifies it, throws to first, and not in time.
He thought about that call for a long time.
He sure did.
Peter just lost that ball.
You got to give a hit on that one.
Now batting number 4, Jake Hendricks.
But the play before was pretty unbelievable, right? I mean, it's a 1-3-6 double play, but Peter fielded the bunt. They came right up. They had it on, and I'm not sure who was yelling at the runner at second to get back, but he was dead.
He was dead to rights.
There was no place for him to go.
Not at all. There's a pitch a little bit on the inside part of the plate for ball 1. So Sean Petamonte, who hit a screamer up the middle that was kicked by Peter, and then he was unable to find the ball. Once he did, it was a little too late. There's a little bleeder down at third, but that's going to go foul. So we got a 1-1 count here for their leadoff hitter, Jake Hendricks. Center fielder Jake's made a couple of nice plays thus far in this game. Seems to be a solid athlete. Peter's looking now, keeping his eye on Shaw. Here's the pitch, and a big cut again. So Jake was a strikeout-looking victim in the first inning. Right now there's a count of 1-2 on the Tomahawks center fielder. Petamonte taking a lead off of first. Here's the pitch. Petamonte takes off. There's a fly ball out to center. Looks like the center field, but Patrick Kerr waves Jack off and makes the catch. So we've got 2 hits, no runs, no errors, a great play between Lobsher and Patrick Kerr on a 1-3-6 double play. We go to the bottom of the third inning. We're still scoreless.
9 pitches, total 30.
All right. So DeLauro with 19 pitches through 3 innings.
Number 22, Patrick Kerr.
And Peter Phillips also doing very well. Very efficient, both pitchers here.
Yeah, they're both just pounding the zone, doing a nice job, and the defense is solid behind them.
Shortstop for Simsbury coming up, Patrick Kerr, number 22. I am remiss to big thank you to Karen Hanville and Kristen Benedict here as we start the bottom of the third inning for help back in the SCTV studios, all the editing of these games, and our cameraman extraordinaire, Nick Sinacori. Thanks for all your help tonight. First pitch ball to Patrick. Jack winds and throws, and Patrick is late on a fastball, so we've got a 1-1 count. I like the stirrups on Patrick. I see a couple of the Glastonbury guys wearing those as well. There's a ball in the dirt, unable to be handled there by Chris Fisher, catcher for the Tomahawks, and we've got a count of 2-1 on Patrick. There's the windup and the pitch. Again, just a little bit late on that. Let's start a little bit early. Jack DeLauro is throwing strikes. He's pounding the zone. He's got a great windup.
He does, very repeatable. You know, this is the first batter of the game where he started him with a ball, and he was trying to throw a strike, right? I mean, it wasn't a giveaway pitch.
Right. 2-2. Here's the pitch. A cut by Patrick, and he doesn't get that. We got 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Looks like runs are going to be at a premium here so far in the game. Both pitchers look to be very strong.
They do. That'll put some onus on the base coaching, right? Because we already saw, and whether that was a base coach error that got that, that caused that double play there. But somebody obviously told him to get back because he was on the bag and got off and started to walk
run
back. Run back to first base.
Here's Simsbury's designated hitter Anthony Romanelli with a 1-1 count, swing at the first pitch. He got the memo that Jack was throwing first pitch strikes, and he went up there hacking. Nice pitch by Jack,
nice
right
pitch.
down the middle. So again, we're still going through the lineup here. Simsbury's not yet turned over their lineup. Anthony batting 8th in the lineup here. He waits for the pitch. Outside and high. So we have a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Jack's got 3 Ks right now, 2 swinging, 1 looking. Here's the pitch. And another swinging strike. Strike out for his 4th of the game. And that's going to bring up our second baseman, Timmy White, number 9. Made a nice play, nice routine play. It's nice to see these guys make the routine plays. That's where you start to get in trouble. Even at the major league level, we see some of these routine plays not getting made.
Well, it's about executing the fundamentals, right?
Right. Timmy is a very fundamentally sound baseball player. First pitch to Tim was outside, ball 1. Here's the pitch. And again, just on the outside part of the plate, it did catch White. So we've got a count of 1-1. Jack gets the sign. Here's the pitch. Looks like he tried to throw an off-speed or slider there that he didn't snap.
Yeah, just kind of hung into his hand a little long.
Yep. So 2 balls and 1 strike. I hate to say this, Craig, but it feels like it's getting warmer. There's another nice pitch right on the outside part of the plate for strike number 2.
I'm going to check what's in your drinking bottle.
Maybe it's because I'm not right in front of the window like Nick. Beautiful pitch for strike 3 looking. So 3 up and 3 down. 2 by way of a swinging strike, 1 by way of a looking strike. And we go to the top of the 4th. Still scoreless here at Simsbury and Memorial Field. I got 14.
At 15.
15.
Yeah.
I think I missed a foul ball. So 34 to 29, something like that?
To 30.
To 30. Wow, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Peter's last inning was very efficient with 9.
Peter's got 2 Ks, both looking. Coming up for the Tomahawks in the top of the 4th inning as, again, both pitchers very efficient in their approach to the game. We've got coming up for Glastonbury, their catcher, Chris Fisher, their third baseman, Luke Stevens, and right fielder, Noah Diamond.
Well, here's a fun
Fisher came up. Fisher, their catcher, came up and grounded out to Timmy White in the first inning for out number 2.
So here's a kind of a quick look at how these pitchers are battling each other. Oh, right
There's
up the middle.
Another ground ball right up the middle. So they're not waiting around. Chris was not waiting around. First pitch hitting. And that's Glastonbury's 3rd hit.
Now batting number 12, Luke Stevens.
So going into this inning, he had thrown 30 pitches, 19 strikes, 4 first pitch strikes, whereas Jack had thrown 34 pitches, 24 strikes.
Wow.
And 5 first pitch strikes to, 9 batters?
Wow.
Almost
So Fisher
picked him off at first.
taking a lead there off of first base, and Peter trying to keep him close. Third baseman Luke Stevens now up, their number 3 hitter. He hit a fly ball to Jack D'Onofrio in the first inning. to end the inning. There he goes. There's a nice hit and run. A ball gets right through the hole. And so the Tomahawks have something going on 2 pitches here in the top of the 4th inning on 2 singles by Fisher and Stevens. Right fielder Noah Diamond, who flied out on a nice catch out there by Luke Beneke, one in which we thought may be dropping in. So let's see. We already know that this manager here for Glastonbury likes to bunt. I don't know if you bunt your 4-hitter. Yes, you do. There's a bunt. Lobsher stays at first. They get the runner. 3 pitches and runners at second and third. Great job by Peter to make the play. 1-3 on a bunt.
Now batting number 23, Hunter Loomis.
So it was 1 pitch in to answer my question, do you bunt your 4-hitter?
Yeah, we didn't wait around for that one.
No, the answer is that yes, you do. Hunter Loomis now up, their DH.
You know, and as the third baseman came crashing, Ryan Caulfield did a nice job of directing Peter to get that ball off to first base, so he didn't even have to think about where he had to go with it.
Ball 1 outside. Hunter hit a pretty hard shot to third base. Dylan Leonard, his first time up a couple innings ago. Dylan made a nice play. Simsbury elects to keep their infield back. Here's the pitch. A big cut by Hunter.
Peter
he doesn't
just,
get it.
Peter just reared back and just fired that one. I think that was his hardest pitch all night.
There they are. Simsbury does have the corners up, first and third. So Lobsher and Leonard are in. Here's the pitch. And there's one back right over our head. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Interesting as Peter has only thrown, I've got 6 pitches in the inning, yet we've got runners on second and third already.
Yeah, they just came out ready to go. First pitch, first pitch, first pitch.
There's a big pitch right here. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nice job by Peter. A little bit outside. Seeing if he can tempt Hunter. So again, it looks like manager for Glastonbury there has called time. So our runner on third, who's Chris Fisher, can tie his cleat. 2-2 count here gives Peter a little bit of a rest. Peter's been very effective with the fastball high. I'm not sure Hunter can catch up to that. But you don't want to miss middle. And it just gets a piece of it. That was a nice pitch by Peter. Fouls it off to our right. Again, 1 out on a sacrifice bunt by Noah Diamond. Moving 2 runners along, Luke Stevens and Chris Fisher. Here's the pitch. Just a bit outside. 3-2 count now. Payoff pitch coming. Lobsher and Leonard remain in on the corners with White and Kerr back. Peter looks in, gets the sign. Here's the pitch. And a great, perfect timing for a strikeout there. Great pitch by Peter. So we've got 2 outs. Max Jajinka steps in. He was a strikeout victim in the second inning looking. And he's got the chance to drive a couple of runs in here.
I'm going to venture that was Peter's most important pitch so far this season.
Absolutely. Well, definitely this game.
Yep.
Here's the pitch.
Coming off the injury and
ball outside.
In a pitcher's duel, runners at second and third, and you don't want to load the bases.
So Fisher on third, Luke Stevens off of second. The pitch to Jajinka, and there's a strike. So he evens the count at 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Infielder's now back.
Watch the runner at third. It's like he's anchored to the base, and then he goes. Right up the middle.
Line drive up the middle. That's going to plate 2 runs.
Here comes a big throw.
There's a throw by
Cut it off.
no, and that's going to allow the runner Jajinka to get down to second base. So 3 hits in the inning, and 2 runs have come across. Glastonbury takes
number 18, Colby Seymour.
a 2-run lead. So tough break there after a huge strikeout of Hunter Loomis. Max Jajinka, a strikeout victim in the second, comes up, lines one right up the middle. Brings up their left fielder, Colby Seymour. Colby looks in. We got to minimize the damage here. He's trying to get on. Ryan just out of Ryan Caulfield's reach on a bunt attempt. So clutch hitting by Max Jajinka there. 2 outs. 1 strike on him. It was a 1-1 count. He did a really good piece of hitting.
So out of the 6 batters we've seen this inning, 4 of them have gone after the first pitch.
Yeah, definitely a different attack. A little bit outside. Count evens up at 1. Jajinka takes a healthy lead off at second base. Nothing too crazy. Peter winds and deals. And there's another line drive, base hit. And here comes Jajinka. They're going to hold. So Glastonbury has opened the door a little bit here with 4 hits in the inning. Another single.
Now batting number 10, Mike Feeney.
That was a tough one. That almost looked like Blake may have been able to get there. Off the bat, I thought he was going to, but dropped right in front. Jajinka obviously 2 outs running on the hit, scores easily. The Trojans do keep Seymour at first base. And we've got Mike Feeney, their first baseman, who was involved in that 1-3-6 double play. There's a nice pitch by Peter, inside corner for strike 1. So 4 hits and 3 runs. Crazy type of inning here as the Tomahawks take a 3-0 lead. Peter looks in for the sign. Here's the pitch. And that was a strike. Ball wide left on the throwdown. So a stolen base by Seymour. He's now in scoring position. But we've got an 0-2 count on Feeney. So we've got to be careful here with him. So crazy inning, huh, Greg? One that's just kind of gotten away from him a little bit. 4 hits. 4 hits and 3 runs. Ball 1, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And you knew we'd see it at some point. I mean, the Glastonbury Tomahawks has put up 62 runs this season.
Right.
Right. So you knew that there was something in their offense, and it's 1-1.
A decent, line drives. Finding gaps. Nothing too overpowering.
Or is it 2-1?
There's a ground ball, little tapper to Dylan at third. Dylan makes a great scoop, throws on the run for a 3rd out. Good play by Dylan Leonard. So 5-3 ends a very ugly top of the 4th inning where the Tomahawks plated 3 runs on 4 hits, had a stolen base, sacrifice bunt. We go to the bottom of the 4th now with the Simsbury Trojans behind 3-0.
Holding it down. They're holding the fort down for these guys.
20.
20 even, 50 total. You know, 9. So he, all those batters, he had 5 first pitch strikes, so a total of 9. But they obviously did some coaching in there and came out and said, just go after the first pitch and let's go. Let's play a little small ball. Let's get the runners going and let's see what we can make happen. So it'll be interesting to see what Simsbury does, right? Because their pitcher has just been pounding the zone as well with at least 9, 7 or 8 first pitch strikes.
And we're turning over our lineup here.
Right, and Jack saw 2 pitches last time, so it's going to be a question if he comes up swinging, right?
Right. So Jack hit a shot to center field. Jack D'Onofrio comes up, center fielder for the Trojans, who hit a ball to the gap in right center field that was tracked down by Hendricks. Jake Hendricks. Here's the pitch. He starts him with an off-speed pitch inside for ball one. So as obvious as it sounds, we need base runners. Jack Delario throws a pitch inside, almost nips him.
Oh, I thought that might have caught a part of the jersey.
Not the type of night you want to take one off the hand.
No. So we're bottom of 4, 50 minutes in.
Wow. So 3-0. Jack's got the count in his favor. He needs to get on. As leadoff hitter's job to do, take pitches, get on base. There's a strike. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Jack D'Onofrio. Number 27 for the Trojans, wearing the stirrups tonight. There's a quick hands and a foul ball, 3-2. So Delaro's come right back. He has come right back here after starting the count 3-0. Has to throw a strike here. Does not want to start off by putting the leadoff guy on, and Jack unable to catch up to that. May have been ball 4, unsure. Got a swing, close enough to swing. Ryan Caulfield now steps in. Caulfield was a victim of a strikeout looking in the first inning. So 1 out, nobody on. Here's the pitch. And cut by Ryan for strike 1. Ryan Simsbury's catcher. There's a pitch on the outside. I think that was a similar pitch to what caught Ryan in the first inning.
So he's faced 10 batters with 6 strikeouts.
Wow. There's a ball low and inside for ball 1.
And I knew there was talk before, just in this press room up here, if you will, that this young man pitching is going to Holy Cross.
Yeah, he looks. He's not to jinx anybody, but he's got a perfect game going, does he not? It hasn't been a base runner, no walks.
He does.
And we're almost through 4 innings.
I thought for sure Ryan was going to punch a single there.
The curse of the announcer.
The curse of Mike Sinigori.
Glastonbury would have my head. There's a nice cut by Ryan. Unable to catch up to that, so we've got 2 outs here. Yeah, Delaro is on. He is he's throwing a very nice game. Now batting, number 12, Blake Chapman, Simsbury's left fielder, batting in the 3rd spot. Blake also hit a shot to center field in the first inning. Here's the pitch. Again, starting him off, he was able to snap that curve off or off-speed off for strike 1.
He fixed that problem.
Yeah, he did. Again, he does have a very repeatable motion. And it looks like he's when he starts to overthrow is when he gets into trouble a little bit. Otherwise he's right in the zone.
He is. He's long off the mound. I mean, he finishes way off the mound. I mean, he does a nice job. He's coming right at you.
As again, he tried that off-speed pitch again. Wasn't able to get that one in. So we are 2 balls, 1 strike. Bottom of the 4th inning. Here's the pitch. Oh, there's a pitch right down the middle for strike 2. So it evens a count at 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Red Sox with a big win today, 7-3.
They did. That was a nice game.
Throw that one in there. Big cut. Nice pitch again by Jack. Nice cut by Blake. Unable to catch up to that. So once again, I sound like a broken record for our Trojans, but 3 up, 3 down on no hits, no runs. And at the end of 4 full, we have a score of Glastonbury 3 and the Simsbury Trojans 0.
16 pitches, 50 total.
So they're both at 50 through 4 innings. Unbelievable.
Right, and he threw 9 strikes that inning, right?
Unbelievable.
2 first pitch strikes. So he's thrown, I got to go back and count, but I think he has, out of the 12 batters that he's thrown, 9 of them he has thrown first pitch strikes to.
So coming up for Glastonbury, we have Sean Petamonte, Jake Hendricks, and Chris Fisher. All guys of which have got singles in this game. So as we are more than halfway through the game here, our pitcher from Glastonbury, Jack DeLauro, is throwing a heck of a game. He has faced the minimum. 12 up, 12 down through 4 innings. Peter's still on the mound.
Now batting for Glastonbury, number 20, Shaw Petamonte.
Important for Peter to get off and get this first batter. Second baseman Shaw Petamonte, number 20 for the Tomahawks. He had a single in the 3rd inning. We are now in the top of the 5th. There's a ground ball. Dylan Leonard, nice play by Leonard. Gets up, throws. 1 pitch, 1 out. That's what we like. Great play by Dylan Leonard.
Now batting number 4, Jake Hendricks.
Jake Hendricks, who started their rally last. No, he was one of the ones that was not. Petamonte and Hendricks didn't get up last inning. They were the only 2. He's got a fly out to shortstop and a strikeout looking in the 1st inning. Center fielders made some good defensive plays. Ball in the dirt. So ball 1 on Hendricks. Hendricks looks down at his coach to get his sign. Peter toes the rubber, the pitch. Just a bit high for ball 2. That looked like a good pitch there. 2 balls, no strikes on Hendricks, their leadoff batter. There's another ground ball down to Dylan. Leonard sets, throws, 2 outs. Nice play by Dylan Leonard. He's really improved defensively.
Now batting number 3, Chris Fisher.
Over there at the hot corner.
He did a nice job, right? 2 different plays. One he knocked down, got up and had to fire it, and that one was deeper, and he just had to fire a BB. And strong arm by the 3rd baseman.
One of Simsbury's pitchers, Dylan. Got a good strong arm over to first base.
You know, I just put a star on the first play because I thought that was one of the best solid defensive plays of the game, and then he just comes back and gets another star on the very next play.
Ready. Ball 1 here to Chris Fisher, Tomahawks catcher, who is 1 for 2 with a ground out to second base and a base hit. Started the rally last inning where the Tomahawks scored 3 runs on 4 hits. 2 balls, no strikes now. Ball on the outside part of the plate. Peter looks in, gets a sign. Here's the pitch. 3-0 now on Fisher. So 2 ground outs to third base, Dylan Leonard on 2 nice plays. 3-0 now and a count to Chris Fisher. Here's the pitch and a ball outside. So it just looks like he's not finishing. That's the first walk of the game for either team.
Now batting number 12, Luke Stevens.
Their number 3 hitter now, Luke Stevens. Third baseman steps in. He also had a single. He's 1 for 2 tonight. A fly ball to center field. D'Onofrio made a nice play on a ball in the 1st inning. Peter looks in, gets a sign. Here's a pitch. There's another fly ball out to right center.
Jack's on his horse.
Tracking it.
Nice
Great
job.
catch by
Nice
Jack
job.
D'Onofrio. So 2 batters with 1 pitch, 1 out. We love it. And after the end of 4 1/2, It is still the Glastonbury Tomahawks 3 and your Simsbury Trojans 0.
9 pitches.
So he's at 59 right now.
He was so good the other night.
All right.
And you guys have a contract ready for you at WAEI.
So as we mentioned in the opening, Craig, we've got this Glastonbury team has played Class L opponents in Avon, E.O. Smith, Hartford Public, and East Lyme, all of which were wins. They've played 2 Class M teams in Plainville and Rocky Hill. And Plainville was a 7-1 victory. That was a shortened game in 6 innings. And they most recently lost on Monday to Rocky Hill 3-1, which is also out of our Class M.
Right, Rocky Hill's usually pretty good in baseball, and I know when I looked it up earlier that I was kind of surprised with what their record was. They're 4-6 in the M.
Yes.
Which just isn't a regular season for Rocky Hill.
Much easier said than done, right? But it's important to really cover home field advantage. You really got to take advantage of having your last ups and things like that. So there's a long way to go here. But the way Jack's throwing, it looks to be a daunting task right now for our Trojans.
It does. He is just pitching well.
Coming up now for Simsbury is Ryan Lobsher, first baseman, who was a first base unassisted out in the 2nd inning. So Ryan is 0 for 1 tonight. Again, Jack has faced the minimum. 12 batters up, 12 down. Here's the pitch, and there's a ball down low.
You clearly could see he overthrew that one. He reached way back.
He's
for
amped
that.
up.
Yeah.
He looks like I was saying last inning, he looks to be a little bit, taking a walk around to kind of settle himself. I think he even said to the catcher he needs to settle down.
Yeah,
a
he
little
does
bit.
after that. But that was the first time he was really out of his traditional routine.
Here's the pitch. There's a strike.
Yeah, quick correction.
Cuts the middle of the plate. Evens the count at 1-1. Big lopsided victory last night for the Milwaukee Bucks. It was a tough game for our Celtics.
Yeah, that was as I talked to my son Connor today. Get through.
There's a ground ball scooped up out there by Max Jajinka. Had that nice hit to bring in 2 runs earlier. And so 1 up, 1 down.
As Connor was saying, that it was just you just needed to get 1 out in Milwaukee, and they did that. They returned
True.
home, and they'll be at the TD Garden
That's
Friday
true.
night, 8 o'clock, and I'm sure the Garden will be rocking. Disappointing to see the Bruins lose as well,
Right.
but
Good time to be a Boston sports fan. huh?
every time's a good time
Right.
to be a Boston sports fan, right? Doesn't matter the season.
I heard the announcer saying it was the first time Columbus has ever played this late in April. There's Dylan Leonard now. That clearly, he's overthrowing that first pitch. There's
Yes.
another ball on the outside. Leonard had a fly ball to right field his first at bat. He's 0 for 1. Strike on the outside part of the plate. So we've got a count of 1-1. Leonard gets ready. There's a quick cut.
Big news out of Glastonbury this week is that a boy who would have graduated would be in this class, but actually had gone on to Suffield Academy. Just
Oh, no kidding.
did a verbal
Nice.
commitment to the University of Miami to go play quarterback for them in the
Wow.
class of 2020. Tyler Van Dyke.
Wow, fantastic.
Yeah, and and it's big time for Western Mass as well as in the NFL draft. Christian Wilkins got drafted by the Miami Dolphins, and 5 years ago, Christian was graduating from Suffield as well. So kind of a neat story for them, but some big news for
Yeah,
Glastonbury
absolutely.
fans as well.
Absolutely. So Dylan went down by way of K. Here's Luke Beneke now, Simsbury's right fielder, and a count of 1-1. Luke was a strikeout victim in the second inning. Jack is in a zone. And here's the pitch. And it seems like he's very confident up there. We are watching a clinic, Craig.
Yeah, he's just doing an outstanding job on the hill tonight.
Here's the windup and the pitch. Ball down in the dirt. Fisher with a nice stop. 2-2 the count here on Simsbury's right fielder.
You know, the Fisher's doing a nice job behind the plate.
And there's a little bleeder to third base and under the glove of Luke Stevens. And that's going to get Luke on. I got to believe that's an error. E5.
Yeah.
E5. E5.
Yeah, it was kind of a weird roll going through what looks like thick grass, right? There's been a ton of rain up here.
Right.
For forever it seems.
Right.
And he just went down and that ball just kind of scooted under his glove.
So let's see if this opens the door. There's the first base runner for Simsbury. Comes in the bottom of the fifth inning. And now up to plate is Patrick Kerr. Simsbury's shortstop takes ball one, which Jack looks in, kind of questions the call a little bit. DeLauro looks over at Beneke. Beneke's got a very short lead over at first. There's a ball on the inside part of the plate. Again, ball two. 2 balls, no strike. Kerr should get a ball to drive here. Here's the pitch. And there is a ball slapped right up the middle and booted by shortstop Max Jajinka. And with 2 errors, the Simsbury Trojans have something going here. So E5 and E6
Now batting number 13.
breathes a little bit of life into our Trojans with Beneke on second and Kerr on first. Brings up designated hitter Anthony Romanelli. And it looks like he is being hit for.
We have a Tomahawk meeting out on the mound. The coach walked right out there. This is the first inning where he has not thrown a leadoff strike to any of the batters that he's faced.
Great point. This is a pinch hitter for Anthony Romanelli, number 13.
Will Bunnell.
Will Bunnell.
Now batting number 13, Will Bunnell.
All right, so we got a pinch hitter here in the 5th inning.
So I'm going to guess the coach just went out, pulled in all the infielders and everything, and just told him to calm down, relax. Gave his pitcher just a little breather, told him not to overthrow, and let's see if he gets back to his solid mechanics.
As he's lost the perfect game here in the 5th on a couple of errors. Here's a pitch. Again, overthrowing that first pitch for ball number 1.
Yeah, I don't know if your jinx from before carried over to this inning.
The announcer jinx. That's it. Beneke takes the lead off a second. Kerr off a first. Jack throws. Here's the pitch. And there's a strike to Bunnell. 1-1. Looking for a big hit here out of Will. Would be Simsbury's first hit, as they have been no hit to this point. There's a good cut by Will, but unable to catch up to that. So we have a count of 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jack sitting in the driver's seat on this one here. Way ahead in this count.
He's got a changeup coming, you think?
I think he might go fastball outside part of the plate.
Oh, a lot of
Will
thinking.
calls for time.
A lot of thinking.
Granted by the home plate umpire. There we go. Coach Masters cheering on his team. Here's the pitch. And outside and low. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jack's still throwing pretty hard. Looks still strong out there. He's somewhere around 62 or 3 pitches. There's the pitch. And a strike 3. So he gets out of the inning. Threw a lot of pitches that inning. So 2 errors, no hits, no runs through 5 innings. It's the Tomahawks 3 and the Simsbury Trojans 0.
He threw 20 pitches that inning.
Wow, so 70.
That was a lot. That just jumped him up, right?
Well, you figure 2 errors, right?
Yeah, that.
2 errors made him throw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more pitches than he needed to.
Right.
Right? He could have got out of the inning with 12 pitches,
Right.
which was about his average.
And that's his first inning with no first pitch strikes.
Wow. Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah, so I'll go back and count those out. So it was what, 50 and 31.
Timmy White will lead off the bottom of the 6th when we're back to the Trojans hitting. Right now in the top of the 6th, Noah Diamond, Hunter Loomis, and Max Jajinka. Noah Diamond now coming up for the Tomahawks.
Now batting for Glastonbury, number 8, Noah Diamond.
Noah's their right fielder. He's got a sacrifice bunt. Actually, Noah laid down a beautiful bunt to move runners along in that infamous 4th inning. Peter starts Noah off with ball number 1. Peter had 60 pitches total for the game. And there is a little bleeder out, and Beneke is right there to make the catch. Nice catch again by Luke Beneke. Off the bat, it looks like it's going to dink in there, doesn't it?
It really does.
So fly ball to Luke Beneke to start the 6th inning. Nice play by Luke. I think he's been out in right field, so he knows how to play the line. And
He does. He's been in perfect position for those 2 plays that we just thought those balls were going to drop right in.
Peter comes sidearm there on that one for ball 1. And so ball 1 to Hunter Loomis, who has a strikeout and a ground out to Dylan Leonard at 3rd. There's another somewhat of a sidearm pitch for strike. So mixing up his delivery. Evens the count at 1-1. Peter looks in at Ryan Caulfield, gets a sign. Here's the pitch. Ball a little bit low. 2 balls, 1 strike to Hunter. Not a lot of chirping going on out of the Glastonbury dugout. There's a ground ball to shortstop Patrick Kerr. He corrals it, throws to first. Nice play by Lobsher. And we've got 2 outs.
Now batting number 2, Max Jinjika.
Shortstop Max Jinjika now steps in. Max had a big hit in the 2nd inning, driving in 2 runs. 2 RBI for Max. First pitch to Max is a strike. Peter starts off 0-1. Be nice to have a quiet inning here. Inside. So other than that 4th inning, which looks to be a bit of an anomaly. A couple of weird things happened that inning, but they did get a lot of hits, 4 hits.
They did. Remember, they just came out first pitch.
Ball 2. 2-1 now to Max. Max digs in, covers a plate there with his bat. Peter gets a sign. Here's the pitch. And that had to be a little bit outside. 3-1 now to Max. So again, let's hope for a strike here. A foul ball off to the right. Loud foul by Max. A big cut there. He knew he was getting a strike. Peter still looks very strong. Good on the mound.
Yeah, he looks solid.
Peter looks in. Here's the pitch. Oh, just got a tip of that. Count remains full at 3-2 with 2 outs. Top of the 6th here. Simsbury Trojans behind by 3 runs. A little bit of a rally going last inning. One isn't not able to capitalize on a couple of errors. There's a ball down low and outside. Peter's second walk of the game.
Now batting number 18, Colby Seymour.
Colby Seymour now. As Max been on base 2 out of the 3 times he's been up. Seymour has 2 hits. Colby is 2 for 2. And he's got a stolen base. So Seymour's had quite a good game here.
He has. Let's see. They've been going on the first pitch. Let's see if they do it again. Nope.
There's a nice pitch to start him off. Strike right down the middle for strike 1. Colby Seymour. Left fielder for the Tomahawks.
You go on the second pitch.
Here's the throw down by Caulfield. And safe is the call. So Max steals a base. That's their second stolen base of the game. That was a ball. So we've got the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Seymour looking in. Here's the pitch. Inside, ball 2. It's important right now for Peter to take a deep breath and bear down. He's got to get this batter right here.
He does. He absolutely does. You know, the Tomahawks have played some really solid, fundamental, small ball.
Absolutely, right? And they do, like we were saying, they hit line drives. They hit their singles were legit singles.
They were, but they've been bunting and stealing and just,
Solid team.
They are very solid.
Right? I mean, that's what you expect out of the number 10 team in the state, Class XXL. Probably something, a bit of an anomaly, the 2 errors, last inning. And again,
right,
we couldn't capitalize.
Back, right?
Yeah. So 2-2 the count here with 2 outs. Max Jajinka leads off at second base. Here's the pitch. And a nice pitch by Peter. Off-speed curve. Strikes out Colby Seymour. That's the first time Seymour has gone down in this game. So no hits, no runs, no errors. And again, after 5.5, we have a score of 3-0 Glastonbury.
So 16 pitches, 75 total is what I have.
Very efficient. 75 pitches is not bad.
No, not at all.
Just that one bad inning. The one inning that kind of got away from everybody. Other than that, it's been decent.
Yeah, no, it absolutely has. I got chicken scratch all over the place trying to track strikes, first strikes.
So another good, Craig, another good series going on right now are the Carolina Hurricanes, former Hartford Whalers, against the New York Islanders. Islanders came in favored in that, and Carolina went to New York and took the first 2 games. They are now playing in Carolina. Score is 0-0 in the first inning.
So after when the Whalers left and went to Carolina,
yeah.
I wish for them to lose every game.
And they actually won a cup. They actually won a cup.
Yes, they did.
Right? All right, here we go. Now batting is number 9, Timmy White. Tim tries to get on by bunting. unable to do so. Starts off with strike number 1. So once again, Jack DeLauro is pitching a whale of a game. He's faced 2 more batters than the minimum through 5 innings. Tim did offer at that, according to home plate umpire. It goes to 0-2. Jack looks in, gets the sign. Here's the pitch. Big cut by Timmy, but unable to grab it. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Ks. 10 Ks. That was the 10th strikeout for Jack DeLauro. But it flips the order over for Simsbury, and center fielder Jack D'Onofrio, who is 0 for 2 tonight, takes a ball low. Takes a ball there, so count goes to 1 ball, no strikes. Another ball low in the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes. DeLauro, as we've said multiple times over, Craig, he looks to be overthrowing a little bit.
He does a little bit later in the game.
And there's a ball that's somewhat up the middle, shortstop. And another error.
I think the official score is giving him a hit from what we
giving Jack a hit. That could be the first hit of the game. All right, so official scorer gives a hit on that.
That was a hard hit ball, and then he airmailed the throw.
He did. That was another Max Jajinka over there. So we got 1 out. Coach Masters calls Ryan Caulfield, Simsbury's catcher, down for some words before stepping into the box. Caulfield is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Has not been able to figure out Jack, and he's not alone. There's a bunch of guys in the Simsbury lineup tonight that have struggled with this pitcher for Glastonbury.
Yeah, so he's not counting this inning. He's thrown 70 pitches, 43 strikes.
Unbelievable.
But now Peter has thrown 75 pitches, 43 strikes. This is just an unbelievable pitcher's duel.
Yeah.
I mean, we're an hour and 25 minutes into this game, and we're in the bottom of the 6th.
Bottom of the 6th inning. Caulfield sets. Here's a throw, easy throw over to Mike Feeney at first base. So an easy throw by Jack DeLauro. Caulfield's got a count of 0 balls, 1 strike. D'Onofrio takes a little bit of a lead. Here's the pitch. And there is a ball out to center field, and it's going to be caught out there by Jake Hendricks.
Now batting number 12.
So Caulfield got good metal on that, but not a hit. Brings up Blake Chapman, Simsbury's left fielder, trying to get something going here. Anything we can do to get that run across. D'Onofrio takes a lead off of first.
Yeah, it'll be important to get at least 1. It'd be great to get 2 here, because you don't want to have to try and get them all in the bottom of the 7th.
Right. Hendricks looks in. Here's the pitch. And a ball on the inside part of the plate for ball 1. So definitely not as efficient as he was early in the game with those first pitch strikes. Here's the pitch by DeLauro. Oh, and that ball almost gets away. That's high for ball 2. So 2 balls, no strikes here on Simsbury's left fielder, Blake Chapman. D'Onofrio taking a lead off of first base. Here's the pitch. Big cut by Blake, unable to catch up to that. Strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike. That may have been ball 3.
Yeah, that was high.
Right?
But it's hard, right? It's just natural reflexes to swing at something that high up.
Here's the pitch. Again, almost a mirror of the last pitch. Evens a count at 2.
We figured he had success with it the first time.
So do you go right back there? Do you try an off speed here? inside, snap one off.
I think you do, right? 2-2.
Strike three. So called strike three. And that ends the 6th inning. So out looking, a called strike three. So 1 hit, no runs, no errors. And after 6 full, Glastonbury Tomahawks 3 and our Simsbury Trojans 0. What was the, what is that?
I had 12 pitches.
12.
I could be off. I was
82. Peter's coming back out for the 7th. So Delaro has faced 3 over the minimum. If he goes 1, 2, 3 in the 7th, he's faced 3 over the minimum. Right? It's unbelievable.
Now batting for Glastonbury, number 10, Mike Beanie.
Here's Peter back out for the top of the 7th.
How's that dinner tasting, Mike?
Trying to shove some food down here.
Trying not to die here on
Right. Ball on the inside part of the plate.
So here's a quick stat for you, right? Just some
Yep.
rough numbers, and there's caveats in all of these, but
Yep.
Jack Delario has thrown 63% strikes tonight.
Unbelievable.
Peter's
There's a ground ball
here we go, another
to Dylan Leonard.
asterisk.
Great. Terrific.
Oh, the ball came out.
Wait a minute. What is the what call is he making here?
I'm not quite.
He's
He's
calling
calling him
him
out.
out.
He's calling him out. He's saying
calling him out.
He's saying when he swung the glove out, the ball came out. The Glastonbury coach is going to have a word with this.
Yeah, because it looked like when he was swinging by, he hit the runner and the ball then came out of the glove. So he's going to get an explanation on that. Right now, we've got 1 out. Another nice play by Dylan Leonard down there at third base.
A little conversation here.
I'm going to put that in the book as a 5-3. Which brings up a new...
Wow, they overturned the call.
Oh, they overturned the call. So that should bring out Coach Masters. No. Coach decides not to re-challenge the challenge. Holy cow. Well, that's a tough one there. So that's that's got to be an E3. Would you give an error on the throw, or is that an error on the first baseman?
Maybe on the throw because it wasn't a clean throw. Right, he had to go up and go get it.
E5.
Yeah, that's the official.
So
count.
we gave an E5 on that one. This is a new batter here, number 7, up there to bunt. Dylan in on the bunt. Great play. Not able to, the ball gets thrown away. Not able to be handled by Lobsher. And now we've got runners on second and third. So Mike Feeney on third base. Number 7. I got to see who that is for Glastonbury. That is number 7, Anthony Pelagato. So Anthony
Number 4, Jake Hendricks.
Anthony Pelagato for Shaw Pedamonte. So strike one by Peter.
On a bunt, right? That was
Yeah.
the runner was coming.
So they're literally trying to. So foul ball.
Do they do it again, right? I mean, that third base coach was throwing a lot of signals, making sure that the runners at second and third see what's going on.
Here's the pitch. There's a fly ball out to Jack.
Oh, we're going to see a tag. We're going to see a tag. It's a short one.
Here's the pitch.
Oh,
Here's a throw in.
Great
Nice throw by Jack D'Onofrio to keep the runner at third base. So Mike Feeney stays at third. Anthony Pellegato at second. And we've now got one out. On a failed suicide squeeze attempt, Hendricks flies out to D'Onofrio. Brings up the catcher.
So is he going to do a first pitch bunt?
Number 3, Chris Fisher. Fisher's got a single and a walk today. There's another fly ball to Jack D'Onofrio. He comes in on it, and they're not even going to try. So 2 pitches, 2 outs here. Big outs right there. Huge outs.
Huge.
Brings up number 12, Luke Stevens, third baseman for the Tomahawks. Runners remain on second and third. Feeney on third. Anthony Pellegato on second, who pinch hit for Shaw Pedamonte.
Luke drove the ball deep to center field last time. Jack's playing a little in. Nice stop.
Nice stop by Ryan there. Ball 1. Really looks like, Peter is bearing down here. Needs to keep this a 3-run game if the Trojans want any opportunity in the bottom half of the 7th. Peter gets in the sign. Here's a throw. And there's a shot. And D'Onofrio goes back, tracks, and it's out. So he gets out of it.
The Jack D'Onofrio show.
Jack catches all 3 fly balls. And we need 3 runs to keep this game going. So no hits. Actually, 1 hit, right? 1 hit would be the single by
Yes.
Anthony Pellegato. Did you give him a single on that bunt? That was an error.
That was an error, yeah.
Error on the E5 on that?
E5.
E5. So 2 errors.
We're going to have a real meeting in like 2 weeks.
Okay.
Dana, all right?
Okay.
9 to vote.
Okay. All right. That sounds good.
Okay, then finally get Dan and Larry are
Out. Okay. All right. Good.
Aaron LeClaire and Dan Girardi.
Perfect. Awesome. Okay. All right. Thanks, Steve.
Good luck.
All right. Thank you.
Try to overcome your health.
Always nice to be interrupted during the game by the
Right.
Vice Principal, Steve Petrina.
I can't hear. It's literally the peanut gallery. All
Always
right,
good
here we
to see
go. So
Coach.
how many pitches for
So I had him 8 that inning, so a total of 83.
83 total pitches? Nice job by, nice overall job by Peter Phillips in the game thus far.
Peter's done a nice job. Nice, solid job. That's a nice outing for him, coming off the injury. I know he's had a little bit of an outing beforehand, but this is a great pitcher's duel here, right?
This has stretched him out, yeah.
Yep.
So coming up for Simsbury is Ryan Lobsher, their first baseman, number 20. Ryan's got his hit to their first baseman unassisted, so he's ground ball out to Mike Feeney, and then he has a ground out to shortstop Max Jajinka. And there's a pitch. He starts Ryan off with a strike.
Now these guys have a future on
So here's the pitch,
MLB Network.
and that's just a little bit outside.
That was a little quick, right? That's the first,
He's trying to get. He's trying to get. He's amped up again. It looks like. He did not go.
Yeah, no, not even close.
Check down to the first base ump. So we got 2
catcher
balls,
tried.
1 strike.
Catcher trying to help his pitcher there a little bit.
2 balls, 1 strike to Ryan Lobsher, who is 0 for 2 tonight. And Delario just overthrows that one. So 3-1.
So his catcher almost needs to kind of here we go.
There he goes.
There he goes. Well done. Well done. You know, he saw it. I think he's doing a nice job behind the plate. I'm not surprised that he did that, right? He's just telling his pitcher to calm down.
Chris Fisher out there, catcher, who's had a nice game himself. Hitting a walk. He was on base twice, 4 at-bats. 3-1 count now to Ryan. DeLauro looks in, gets the sign. Can wind up in the pitch. A strike.
Right, the catcher's meeting paid off there, right? I mean, he comes back, tells him to calm down. Now, remember, we talked earlier, there's 14 seniors on this team.
Right.
So a lot of them have probably grown up playing Little League together. You know, they probably play some Babe Ruth, some summer ball together.
Foul ball off to the right. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. They're very comfortable. They look like a very solid, comfortable team playing with each other.
But he knew his pitcher, right? He knew
right.
when he had to. That's the first time he really had to like dive to go catch one, and did a nice job walking out to just have a quick conversation.
Payoff pitch here for Ryan. There's no outs in the bottom of 7th. Trojans down by 3. There's a walk. First walk of the game given up. Dylan Leonard now comes up. He's got a fly out to right field and a K. So he is 0 for 2. Lobsher on at first base via the free pass.
So this is going to be an interesting at-bat, right? All of a sudden, if you get 2 on, no outs.
Right. There's a ground ball.
Slow,
Could be
slow.
2. They get the lead runner at first. Oh, didn't throw it away. So fielder's choice there. Lobsher is staying on second base. He's out. So he's out. Fielder's choice for Leonard on 1 pitch.
Now batting number 17, Luke Beneke.
So that was a 6-4 out number 1. Getting Lobsher at second base. Dylan Leonard now on at first. Beneke up, right fielder for the Trojans. Beneke takes a ball 1 on the inside part plate. Beneke is 0 for 2. He was on base in the 5th inning via an error by Luke Stevens, Glastonbury's third baseman. And that one's high and tight for ball number 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Again, Jack throwing very well. Doesn't look like he's lost any of his velocity.
No.
As I can tell here in the booth.
He leaves one out there. Luke can turn on this.
Ooh, there's a tough pitch. That's a pitcher's pitch right there. So 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Beneke looking back at Jack, waiting to pitch. Here we go. Oh, look. Yeah, late call on that one. Late call on that. Evens it up at 2. 2-2.
I'm not quite sure what took him so long on that one, right?
No, I know. Absolutely correct. Oh, there's a little squibber. That could be trouble.
Ooh.
Oh, and Jack does a fantastic job getting over to cover first base. It does move Leonard along, but we now got 2 outs. So 4-1 on that play. 4-1 on that. 2 outs. Patrick Kerr's Simsbury's last hope here. We got 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. Trojans down 3-0.
You kind of hate to see a pitcher kind of go over there and get, hit the ground. Not sure if he was getting his legs tangled up or whatever. Luke did a nice job of avoiding him.
He did a great job.
He really did.
Yes.
I mean, that's just a nice sportsmanship play by Luke Beneke there.
There's ball 1. I'm nervous now to give the ball or strike on those last ones.
Yeah, you can go get a cup of coffee between some of those calls.
Here's the pitch. And that's another ball. I think he's calling it, but actually giving the sign late,
You're giving him the benefit of the doubt there.
As a player or a coach, you want the umpire to ump the game, not be the game. Right?
Exactly.
Kerr looks out. He's got the count in his favor right now. 2 balls and 0 strikes. Here's a pitch. That's a little bit low. So 3-0. 3 balls, no strikes to Simsbury's number 7 hitter and shortstop Patrick Kerr. Coach Masters rooting the team on from the third base coach's box. Here's the pitch. That's right down the heart of the plate for strike number 1. So 3 balls, 1 strike.
You knew that was coming, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he just...
Dylan hanging off at second base. A decent lead, not too bad. Jack takes a check on him. Here's the pitch. And there's a little fly ball
fading
blooper
away.
toward the line, going foul. Just lands foul. 2 strikes now on Patrick, so the count has run to full count, 3-2, 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th, Dylan on second base. Should he reach Will Bunnell?
It looks like Romanelli's back in the...
You're absolutely right. Looks like Anthony Romanelli is back in the on-deck circle. So it's a sign from Fisher and the pitch. Ball 4, wow. That was a 50-50 there.
That was.
Didn't know which way it was going to go. Anthony Romanelli. So this 8th spot in the lineup has 2 Ks, one by Anthony in the 3rd inning and one by Will Bunnell in the 5th inning. But we do have runners on 1st and 2nd as the coach for Glastonbury is out for another conference.
Right, he brings all the infield in. They're all just talking. Coach Masters has the 2 base runners and Anthony over there just giving them a little heads up as to what's going on.
All right. We need Romanelli to wake the dead up out there in the cemetery and tie this game up.
So on senior night, I think it was in basketball, the last basketball game,
Yep.
Anthony gets in and just drops
he nailed a three-pointer.
He nailed a
Did you see?
three-pointer.
I
He
saw
did.
that.
It
Yeah.
was just a lot of fun. I ran into him the other day at Cumberland
Yeah.
Farms, and I was congratulating him on that, and a big smile across his face. So let's see what he can do.
He's a very humble young man.
We've had him, we had him when Connor on a Babe Ruth team, and he was just he's just a lot of fun to have. So let's see him come through here in the bottom of the 7th here.
That'd be nice.
1 stroke of the bat, and we're all tied at 3.
Jack getting some encouragement from his infielders and his coach as he looks into Fisher for the sign. Romanelli digs in. Here's the pitch. Ball down low.
The right field faithful showed up a little late tonight, but they are out
They're
there in
out
strong
there,
numbers.
right? Let's hope they don't have those water guns like they did against Hall. Here's the pitch. Oh, Romanelli takes a big cut, not able to catch up to that one. Evens the count at 1-1. He looks out. Jack DeLauro gets a sign from his catcher, Fisher. Here's the pitch. Strike 2. Nice pitch by Jack. So Anthony's got to dig down and protect here with 2 strikes. 2 runners on, 2 strikes. Simsbury's got 1 hit by Jack D'Onofrio last inning. Here's the pitch. Ball is a little bit low for 2-2 count. 2-2 on Anthony Romanelli. He looks out. Here's the pitch by Jack.
Oh,
Strike 3 looking to end the game.
yep.
Very fitting, right? Tough pitch right there, but very fitting end to the game as Jack DeLauro threw a 1-hitter, and you could even argue that may have been an error, but 1-hitter. The Glastonbury Tomahawks come across the river here to Simsbury Memorial Field, and Jack DeLauro puts on a clinic tonight. He was just outstanding. Both pitchers were actually outstanding, Craig. What a game. So
They were, right? So I have them at 106 pitches.
106?
106.
106 pitches
Yeah,
for
20
Jack DeLauro.
24 that inning.
Wow.
But what a great outing.
Awesome job by Jack Delario. An equally good job by Peter Phillips, and a great game by the Glastonbury Tomahawks as they take this game 3-0 from our Simsbury Trojans. So not much to say here other than Jack faced, I think, 5 batters over the minimum, for the entire game. I mean, he came really close to having a perfect game. He had a perfect game.
Until you jinxed him.
Through 4 innings, right? Until I put the announcer curse on him. But, again, not much more to say that Jack Delario put on a clinic tonight, stymied the Simsbury batters. And the number 10 team in the state betters their record to 8-2, while Simsbury goes to 5-4. The magic number is getting to wins number 8 to make the state, and they're 3 away from that. And
I think they'll get there. You take a quick look at the schedule, right? They have, Farmington, then a tough one against Southington. They'll play Conard, who's obviously having a very good season. Then they're back at Farmington, Maloney, South Windsor. They'll see you. South Windsor's very good. I think they're 3 in the CCC. Avon. Then they're back to Glastonbury, and then the makeup one or the finish up one of Rocky Hill. So there's definitely some wins in there.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up here from Memorial Field in Simsbury, Connecticut, on a cold yet quick night, as both pitchers did a fantastic job. The final score tonight from Simsbury, the Glastonbury Tomahawks 3 and your Simsbury Trojans 0. Until next time, I'm Mike Sinacore. Thanks to Craig Ahrens and Nick Sinacore tonight, and we'll talk to everybody soon.
Funding for Simsbury Community Television is provided in part by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.